Good morning, dear students. Today we're going to study the second chapter, that is microorganisms, friend and foe. So, as you know, that along with the plants and animals, there are some organisms which we cannot see with the naked eye are also present in the surroundings, isn't it? Now, these very minute creatures or very small creatures are nothing but they are called as microorganisms. So how can we define them? Organisms which are too small to be seen by the naked eye, especially a single cell organism, is called as microorganisms or microbes. Now they can be found everywhere, in the soil, in the air, in your surroundings, then even inside your body. So there's an activity given, like collect some moist soil from the field in the beaker and add water to it. Let the soil particles settle down for some time and place the drop of water on the glass slide and observe it under a microscope. So observing it under a microscope can be done only in the school laboratory. So we'll be doing when the school starts. So we can see that there are a number of creatures present, like there are some rod-shaped bacteria, there are some spiral-shaped bacteria which can be seen. So they can be observed only under microscope. So there are some organisms which are, or there are some microorganisms as we are studying, they are found inside the body of the organism, that is the human body or any animal body. So all the organisms are not harmful to us, they rather the organisms which are present in the gut, that is the stomach, they help in the digestion process. So further they are classified into four major groups, that is bacteria, fungi, protozoa and some algae. So bacteria are microscopic single cell organism. Okay, what are they? Bacteria are microscopic single cell organism found in millions that can survive in extreme climatic conditions, that is inside as well as outside the other organism. Now these organisms are found in different shapes, like some are spiral, some are spherical and some are rod shaped. So spiral shaped bacteria, as in scientific language it is called as spirilla. Then spherical shaped organisms, microorganisms, are called as cocci, COCCI, or rod shaped organisms are called as bacillus, BACILLUS. So our body is loaded with millions of these bacteria. Okay, so this is the first part. Then the second, we will move on to the algae. Now, is algae a bacteria or a plant? Algae is an aquatic plant-like organism. Now, do you know where is it found? It's found in oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds and even in snow. So algae are photosynthetic creatures. They are neither plant nor animal nor fungi. And many algae are single cell. Okay, example over here, Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. Okay, as you can see here in the textbook, okay, the beautiful pictures are given over here. Okay, so in the first picture you can see the bacteria, that is they have shown here spiral shaped bacteria and rod shaped bacteria. Then in the algae you can see that Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. So Chlamydomonas, they have a flagella. Can you see on the top of the head they have flagella which helps in motility. Motility means movement, okay, to move from one place to another. They have the flagella. Then we have the Spirogyra. Now Spirogyra is also called as water silk because when we observe it under the water, it grows under the water, so it just appears like silk and it is called as water silk, and it's spiral in shape. As you can see in the picture, the chloroplast is placed in spiral manner, okay, and that's why the name is given as Spirogyra. Then the next we are going to study about the protozoa. You can see in the picture, okay, protozoa. The examples are amoeba and paramecium. Now what are protozoa? Now these are single cell organisms of different shape which feed on organic matter. And if you see amoeba, we have studied in detail about last year that it is a unicellular organism. It has a cell membrane, it has a cytoplasm. We have studied that, we know that. But I would like to tell you something about paramecium. Okay, paramecium as it is called. Now you just observe the shape of the organism very carefully. What is it? Now paramecium, it just look like the sole of a shoe, or it looks like sleepers. Okay, the shape is like that. And it is, where is it found? It is found in water or damp places, moist or wet, it depends. So in detail we are not going to study about these organisms. You just try to remember the examples of all these. Okay, then the last part is about the fungi. Now fungi, the plural of fungus. Okay, so funguses can be unicellular or complex multicellular organism. Now these are the member of group of eukaryotic organism, which includes microorganisms such as yeasts and mold. Now they reproduce by forming spores. If you remember, we have studied vegetative mode of reproduction in plants last year, wherein we have studied the spore formation method. So the bread mold reproduced in the same manner. Then we can see the Aspergillus and Penicillium. These are also the examples of fungi. Okay, so if we talk about, they infect the plants a lot. It can be vegetables, they can be the fruits or anything. Now Penicillium, if we talk, I would just like to specify over here that it is also used in the production of drugs. Okay, it is used in the production of drugs, that antibiotic production. So next we'll talk about the viruses. I hope it's visible to you now. Okay. So you can see in the picture the viruses. Now viruses are also microscopic infectious agents, and they reproduce only inside the cells of the host organism. Now it can be a bacterium, it can be a plant, or it can be animal. Now they infect almost all type of life form on the earth. Okay, and whenever an organism is infected, the host body is forced to reproduce thousands of identical copies of original virus. I mean, they replicate. Okay, replication is a process wherein they produce the identical copies of theirs in a host body. And if you remember, like we do suffer from many diseases from time to time. For example, cold, flu, and most of the cough, then polio, chicken, these are all caused by the viruses. Okay, so if you see in the picture, these are three-dimensional figures of viruses, and compulsory it has a head and it has a tail. Got it? So labeling we are not going to study, you just have to observe it right now. Later on we'll study what is to be done. So I was talking about the diseases that are caused by the viruses, the protozoas or the bacteria. So viruses, as I have discussed, like cold, flu, cough, polio, chicken pox, etc. are caused by the viruses. Then if you talk about dysentery or stomach upset, it is caused by protozoa. And typhoid, tuberculosis, these are caused by the bacteria. So nowadays, you know why we have adapted this teaching learning method? It is because of the coronavirus outbreak. Okay, so as you know, we were locked down for many days, we can say months. We are at home, so everything, I mean, it has changed our life drastically, and thus we are all working from home. So coronavirus is something, or coronavirus disease is an infectious disease caused by the coronavirus, as it is also called as COVID-19. So COVID-19, CO stands for corona, VI stands for virus, and D stands for disease. Okay, so it has, the coronavirus has spikes, isn't it, which is made up of glycoprotein. Now it looks like a crown, and that is why it is named as coronavirus. Now it has affected almost every aspect of our life, and thus we all are very disturbed. We are very much disturbed because of this, isn't it? But let's hope for the best. Let's learn something from this, or let's take this thing in a positive way also, and stay home, stay safe. Okay, so take down one question for assignment, that is, what are the major groups of microorganisms? Please note down the question. What are the major groups of microorganisms? So see that you write down the answer and keep it ready. Thank you and have a fantastic day ahead.